Yo, what is good YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the best centers in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM on a tier list. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 6,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, often multiple videos a day, and I'd really appreciate your support if you haven't already. If you do subscribe, I'm recording this video on Thursday after the new next packs drop, so we got a couple of those players here on this tier list. I'm going to be recording a few videos here today in advance, because I'm going to be going out of town this weekend. I'll be gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe Monday as well. So I got a few videos that I got to record today, getting out to y'all. But one of those videos, which y'all will be seeing tomorrow on Friday, is this center tier list video. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. And let's start off with the first player on this list, which is going to be Mr. Al Horford. And Horford is kind of a C or D tier type of guy, I feel like, at the center position. And the main reason for that, in all honesty, is his release. Also, he's only 6'10". He doesn't have elite speed. His playmaking badges aren't great. His defensive and shooting badges are very good, as well as his finishing badges. But his jumper isn't very good, and his movement isn't particularly good either. In all honesty, I think he's probably a D tier guy because he's undersized, does not have a good jump shot. And those are pretty significant flaws at this point in the year. There's only a few cards in this list, or a couple cards in this list that I think are probably worse than him. So in all honesty, I probably think he does go in that D tier. Andre Drummond is a card that I really don't know a lot about, but I think they gave him the ability to shoot. So that will definitely improve him. He is 6'11", so not a great height, but he has an elite wingspan, which is nice. Quick dribble style, Kobe size. He's got acceptable sigs. His jump shot is actually okay. And then 89, he can shoot. Yeah, this card's not bad in all honesty. He's got great defensive badges, great interior badges, 92 shot 3, a couple good shooting badges, half quick for step, better movement than a guy like Horford. He's a solid enough card. He has great dunks as well. Yeah, I think he's probably a B tier guy. He's not bad at all. Definitely a solid option at the center position. And Arvydas Sabonis is another guy who's very solid at the center position. I might even move him up to the A tier because Arvydas is 7'3" with a 7'6" wingspan, so he's got elite size, hot spots from everywhere. 35 hoffs include, well, I guess his badges include pretty well-rounded hoffs, a bunch of defensive badges, some good playmaking badges, elite shooting badges, and good finishing badges as well. He's a little slow, only 80 speed and excel, but at 7'3", he does kind of make up for that. And he's got the size to compete against those super tall giants at center, the Tacos, the Yao Mings, the Kareems, the Wilts, guys like that. He can compete at a super high level, which is nice. He's a very versatile card. He's got a great player build as well, very wide. He's a heavy guy. Overall, really solid card. I think Sabonis probably goes in the A tier because of his size and how valuable that is at the center position. Now, Bill Laimbeer is pretty much a insta D tier. He's one of the worst cards in this list. Not going to waste a ton of time on the card. He doesn't have great size. He doesn't have great speed. His badges are good, but not amazing. And he's got probably the worst jump shot on this list, as well as no quick or shifty. Very, very poor card at this point in the year. I highly recommend not running the card. I'll say that. So I think he goes in the D tier. Bill Russell, I'm sticking with my guns. I'm putting him C tier. His release sucks, and that is an issue. Everything else with the card is great, but he is undersized and his release sucks. I got a comment yesterday from somebody who was mad that I put Bill Russell super low, but it's kind of how it is. He's only 6'10", so he's undersized, and he has a bad jump shot. Set shot 17 is not good at all. Everything else, his movement is pretty solid. His stats and badges as an invincible card are very, very good, but he has a poor jump shot and he's undersized, and those are two very crucial things at the center position. Not as bad as guys like Al Horford and Bill Laimbeer, but he's just not that good, and unfortunately, that makes him a C tier type of guy. Boban. I have not looked at this Boban card yet. He just was announced earlier today. He's one of the limited rewards for this season. And he's 7'4" with a 7'8" wingspan. So he's got exceptional size, which is very valuable. Hot spots from everywhere. 45 hoffs include great shooting, finishing, and defensive badges. He's even got half quick for step and bullet passer. 83 speed on a Boban card is really not bad. He's a great shooter, great defender. Set shot 2 on very quick. I don't love this jump shot, but it's not terrible. And with how tall he is, I can work with it. Has great safe dunk, shifty dribble style. The rest of his sigs aren't great, but he's honestly what he is he's a better Sabonis. Just a slightly better version of Sabonis without quite as good of a release. I think he's an A tier guy, not quite S tier, but definitely still a very good option. Okay, Chet Holmgren. There are 4 or 5 guys in this list that I feel like are pretty definitive S tiers. And my question is Chet Holmgren that 5th or 6th guy? And I'm going to honestly go yes. And that is because Chet Holmgren gives you something that really nobody else in this list is going to give you at as an elite level as he is. In addition to being 7 foot with a 7'8" wingspan, so he's got decent height but amazing wingspan. He's got quick dribble style, Kobe size up, tray escape, and pipping behind the back. So he's got very, very good movement, elite safe dunks. This jump shot 110 is a jumper that nobody else in the game has had this year, but it is crazy fast. It's like a combination of D Rose and base 98. I'd say it's very, very fast, smooth, easy to green, an absolutely elite jump shot. So he's got an incredible pick and pop jumper. He's very, very fast. He's an elite shooter. His stats are perfect basically all the way around. Badge wise, same thing, really not missing anything at all. He's incredibly complete and incredibly good. One of the best cards in the game. I know he's not the typical guy to put in S tier, but I think he's absolutely elite, and I'm going to put him there at that center position. D-Rob, I think definitely has to go A tier because I can only put 5 or 6 guys in that S tier, and unfortunately D-Rob is not one of those guys, but he is a great card. He's got good height at 7'1", a great wingspan, hotspots from everywhere, another invincible card with basically perfect stats and badges, an elite release, quick dribble style, pro size up, and great full court SIGs. There's nothing really to complain about with this card. I just don't think he's top 5. There's a few guys here that I think are better than him, and for that reason, I really can't put him higher than the A tier, despite the fact that I do think he is a very, very good card. DeMarcus Cousins is another one of those very good cards. I guess I'll put him A tier. There's going to be a lot of like A tier type of guys, I feel like, in this video, because there's a few more on this list that I see right now that are probably going to go in that A tier, just like with the power forward position. But he's undersized at 6'10", but he does have a good wingspan, which is nice. Hotspots from everywhere, 37 hops. Set shot 8 is a solid release. Quick dribble style, penny size up, Kobe escape, and Pippen behind the back are pretty darn solid SIGs. He's got great stats all the way around. Badge-wise, he's very complete. He's another very good card. One of the best opals in the game. Deserves his spot on this list, and I think he's another A-tier guy. Very, very good card. Mutombo has a couple of issues. One of his issues is he has the same jump shot as Bill Russell, which is a very gross jump shot. He's got great height, but he's missing a couple hot spots. He's not crazy fast, and he has a 58 steal, which basically invalidates the Hoff interceptor and makes him just tip the ball, which is annoying. Not great shooting or playmaking badges either. Because of his size, he's valuable enough and good enough defensively that I do still think he is a C tier guy and not D tier, but he's not elite, and unfortunately, I can't put him where I'd put the elite cards in those higher tiers. Hakeem Olajuwon, yet another B tier guy. Another amazing card, very few flaws. He's got great badges, great stats, great everything. A nice release. Danilo Gallinari base is much better than his old release. Quick dribble style, Ben Simmons size up. His SIGs aren't amazing, but they're not bad, and he's got great safe dunks. Another card that doesn't have significant flaws. He just doesn't do anything better, in my opinion, than the guys that are in S tier. So for me, another great card, but he's got to go A tier. And Joel Embiid is yet another one of those same guys. Great card, not quite an S tier player. There's so many elite options at the center position, and Embiid, very similarly to Hakeem, has a solid jump shot, not great, but acceptable enough SIGs. I guess besides quick dribble style, he doesn't have very good SIGs, but he's got pretty solid height, hotspots from everywhere, another invincible card with basically every single Hall of Fame badge, and perfect stats. He's another amazing, amazing card, and yet I don't think he's top five, so I don't think I can put him in the S tier. Kareem is probably around that B tier at this point. This card was so good for so long. 7'2" with a 7'5" wingspan. Missing some hot spots, only 25 hops, mainly defensive and finishing badges. Hoff quick first step, needs shooting badges added to him. Blinder, chef, deadeye, limitless spot up, and sniper all need to be added to the card. And his 3-point shot should probably be boosted as well with a coach and a shoe, which will get it into the low 90s. But jump shot 21, release 14 upper on very quick is good. I know he only has fundamental dribble style, so not great movement, but I still like Kareem a lot. I think he's a very, very solid card. He's got great player build. He's still a very, very just a super solid all-around small center option. I think he's better than all the guys below him, and I think he does deserve to be in that B tier. Whereas Invincible Kareem, on the other hand, is a pretty easy S tier for me personally. A very, very great center option. I don't know why it won't let me click on him. Here we go. 7'2" with a 7'5" wingspan. This time he's got hotspots from everywhere though. Similar SIGs, but he's got quick instead of fundamental. Same jump shot, but now his stats are basically perfect. His badges are way better, especially in the shooting and playmaking areas. And with the perfect stats, the amazing shooting ability now, as well as slightly better playmaking versatility, he now becomes an S tier guy and is still a great, great card in my team. KP, I think, has to go on the same level as Power within Kareem, because in all honesty, these two cards were kind of interchangeable for the best center in the game when they were out together. 7'3" with a 7'6" wingspan is very good size, hot spots from everywhere. His defensive stats and athleticism are not amazing, and his playmaking and defensive badges leave a little bit to be desired, even though he does have some good interior badges. But with his height, he still plays solid enough defense, and he's really not there to be a playmaker. He's an elite pick and pop guy offensively. I do wish his jumper was on very quick, but even on quick, it's still good. And fundamental dribble style with very mediocre SIGs prevents him from being much of a playmaker, especially with him not being an elite athlete. But he's a great pick and pop guy, and he's got very valuable size and also a very good release. So those things are enough for me to still put him in the B tier. Manute Bol goes S tier, and the reason that he goes S tier is the exact same reason that Yao and Taco are also going to go S tier. I can tell you all that right now, and that is because he is 7'7" with an 8'5" wingspan. I don't care that he's missing 2 hops. I don't care that he has poor dribble SIGs, and his jumper is average at best. I don't care. He's a giant, and that is incredibly valuable. With a giant who can stretch the floor, he's going to be one of the best mashes in the game, one of the best interior defenders and rebounders in the game. Incredible defensive card, and honestly solid enough offensively as well. He's going to be an elite masher, but his jumper is pretty easy to green, relatively fast, and he's got decent enough shooting badges and great shooting ability. I would add a speed shoe, a 3-point shoe, maybe some perimeter defense as well, but he is a very, very good card. You add a few badges to him, he's still a great, great card. I know he's an opal. I know he's missing some badges. I don't care. With his size, he's an S tier guy to me, 100%. Mark Williams. I think is yet another guy I kind of have to put S tier because I think he's 7'2". I haven't looked at this card much, but yeah, he's 7'2" with a 7'6" wingspan, so he's got great size, hot spots from everywhere, 45 hops, everything except for those shooting badges is very, very good. And he's going to be an acceptable shooter with an 80 shot 3, some good shooting badges on gold. You can add Deadeye, Blinders, and Chef to help him out as well. And then a quick dribble style with the Pippin behind the back gives him acceptable enough movement. He's got great safe dunks, and the Giannis release on very quick is super solid. Overall, he's a very solid card. Definitely another very, very viable center option in my team. Yao goes S tier, like I said, pretty definitive. He's basically a Manute Bull, not quite as tall, not quite as good of a wingspan, but with a better jumper. Movement is very similar to Manute's. He's not going to be there dribbling. He's a little bit slow, but he's a great, great shooter and a great, great defender. Better defensive stats than Manute. I feel like his jumper is better than Manute's as well, and he has a higher three-point rating with more Hoff shooting badges, and he's an elite finisher and interior guy still. Same thing with Manute, elite size, elite length, elite defense, elite mashing. He's just an incredible card, and having those giants at center is so valuable and gives you such an advantage over guys who don't have them. Mitchell Robinson goes D tier because he just can't shoot the ball well enough. He's got a 70 shot 3 and is missing a bunch of shooting and a bunch of playmaking badges. He's an elite defender and a good enough interior guy, but he doesn't have incredible size. 7'1" is good, but not like OD amazing. And then his jumper is good, but with a 70 shot 3, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle to green consistently with the card. Quick dribble style, Kobe escape is fine. He's got good dunks. He's missing too many badges, and he has too low of a 3-point shot for him to be a good option in my team, unfortunately. So I got to put him in the D tier. I think Mo Bamba, in all honesty, isn't as good as any of the guys in A tier right now for me personally. And he's a very solid card. Like, don't get that wrong. I just feel like I already have too many guys in the A tier, and it's going to be hard to move some of these other guys down. So for me, 7 foot with a 7'10" wingspan, he has a great length, but unfortunately his jumper, it's good, but it's not amazing. His movement, same thing, good, but not amazing. He doesn't have great dunk animations. Stats and badges are very solid. I don't know. I'm just going to have an oversized A tier. He's too good of a card to put in B tier. I'm going to have an oversized A tier. But luckily, most of these other guys, in fact, all of these other guys, I don't think go into the A tier. So he's still a solid card. And he does deserve to go A tier because he's a very, very good budget center. Miles Turner slots into that B tier. Acceptable card, not amazing. He's a little undersized at 6'11". Doesn't have great speed. Good enough defender. Very solid defender. But a little undersized, like I said. He's a great pick and pop guy, but he doesn't play strong on the interior, which kind of annoys me. Not a great rebounder. He just plays kind of soft for whatever reason. Quick dribble style, but with the speed and the lack of playmaking badges, he's not this elite playmaker. Doesn't have great dunk animations. Jumper is very good. He's a good pick and pop guy, but he's just a bit undersized and a bit soft for the center position. So I think he slots in that B tier. Jokic probably slots in at the C tier. I do like Jokic's release, but he also is only 6'11", has very mediocre, not terrible, but not great SIGs. Jump shot is good. I like set shot 14. I'm a fan of it. And then the speed is great, but the defense is just very mediocre. Defensive badges and stats are not good enough, and that holds him back in combination with his size. Another pretty significant flaw. So that's enough for me to put him in C tier, despite the fact that I like his release. I'm also gonna put Shaq in B tier. I'm gonna be honest. Shaq's not a C tier guy. That's a little bit too rude to him. I know that Shaq is missing a good release. That's really his big flaw. He's got incredible stats and badges. Obviously, I would add Chef, but he's missing the release. That's really the biggest issue. Shaq release on very quick still sucks. It's right there with set shot 17, Lambier's release, Horford's release, guys like that. 4 worst release on this list. His movement is okay, but not great. And he's an incredible defender, interior force, and all those things. Has a great player build. He's just held back so much by that jump shot. He goes from a high A tier player to a low B tier player because of his jump shot. I guess a mid B tier player, because I'd probably take him over most of these guys. But he's a great card. He's just not quite great enough for me because of that jump shot. It holds him back into the B tier. Taco Fall is pretty dominant. 6'7" with, I'm sorry, 7'6", not 6'7", with an 8'4" wingspan, very similarly to a guy like Manute. Again, Manute and Yao and Taco, none of them have good 6, but he's got the best jumper of the 3 in my opinion, in terms of how smooth and easy to green it is. Not as good of a shooter in terms of his stats and badges as Yao, but you can still add those shooting badges like Deadeye, Chef, and Limitless Spot up to him. And playmaking wise and defensively, he is still an incredible card. The best defender of the 3 in my opinion. I feel like he's the most dominant rebounder of the 3, and his player model is also incredibly massive, even for a 7'6" player. He's just such a dominant force, also the fastest of the 3. In my opinion, the Taco is the best center in the game, and he is an easy S tier, no doubt about it. Wilt goes into the exact same spot as Dikembe because they have the exact same release, and while he does have a high steal rating, which Dikembe does not, he has no shooting badges, only a 76 shot 3, needs shooting badges like Deadeye, Limitless Spot Up, Sniper, Blinders, and Chef added to him, and has that same very poor release as Dikembe has, which hurts him a lot. Quick dribble style is nice, but he's just not a good enough card at this point in the year to be any higher than C tier. But that is not true for in-game Wilt, who I think is probably going to slot in in all honesty, I think he's probably the third best center in the game. I know he's one of the best cards in the game, but he's better at power forward because he doesn't have the size of a Taka or a Yao. But that being said, he's still easily an S tier guy, 7'1" with an 8-foot wingspan. He has elite size, hot spots from everywhere. Best animations in the game for a center. Him and Chet, I would say, have the best animations of any of these cards. Has the Luka release on very quick, which is incredibly cheesy on next gen, but even on current gen, it's really good too. He has the best safe dunks, and he's got 80 hoffs. Every single hoff and every single stat is on 99. Basically the perfect center option, just a tiny bit undersized. He's better at power forward, but he's still incredible at center and easily an S tier guy still in my team. So this is my tier list of the best centers in my team right now. Like I said, it's a little bit top heavy, a lot of A tier guys, good amount of S tier and B tier guys as well. But these are my opinion, and let me know what you think about my opinions down in the comment section down below. If you think I rank somebody too high, too low, left somebody off the list, all those things, feel free to leave a comment and let me know about those things down below. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back on more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.